What's up, everybody? This is Brandon.
And this is Bryce.
Welcome, Oh, okay. And go ahead, guest.
I am Dan from Comic Shop News. I'm the interloper in this, and I just screwed everything up.
I was gonna introduce Dan in a very special way and say, "Hey, everybody, we have a guest on the show, and it's Dan." But he took the liberty and did that himself. So that's Dan, everybody, from Comic Shop News. If you're not subbed up to him, make sure you do so. The link for his YouTube is in the description below. He comes out with a lot of cool content. You can see him as Tag Team Thursday every Thursday, 15 minutes. And then Dan and I also have a show, Running with the Devil, which is bi-weekly. Catch us over there, Running with the Devil. But welcome everybody back to Weekly Wrap Up, your favorite comic book review show where we take books that we read from New Comic Book Day, recap, review them, and give our very opinionated thoughts. You know, give you guys a little bit of knowledge, some things you didn't think of, and some very unfiltered opinions because these books are meant to be judged and read. I just wanted to knock off the show with a little bit of house cleaning for the channel. I know that I have a lot of announcements coming up. I know Dan has announcements coming up. So I just want to get that out of the way. And as always, if you guys do have a comment, leave it in the chat, and you will be read on the show. Be there forever and ever and ever. The Comic Vet, what's going on, buddy? Station, how are you doing? Fit to be read. What's going on, sir? Yes, Pickle Rick. I'm Pickle Rick. Wubba lubba dub dub.
Sheena.
Hey, Sheena, what's up?
That's my BFF. New comic reviews, Sweet Miracle Molly. Hard pass.
We're going to talk about that.
We're going to talk about it because Punchline was kind of thrown at us in the middle of I don't want another Joker book, so I don't think that was given a fair shot, especially because of the way that she was introduced. I think because Miracle Molly is so detached from Joker and she's more of like a house cleaning, but kind of a rogue house cleaner. I like it better. Also, she's like, I feel like she's in a punk rock. So like, I just see her doing that shit. So I'm all in.
They pulled Miracle Molly out of like Cyberpunk 2077 reject pile.
Very much.
Thank you. And station to you, Eric, Wifey, and yo, what is up, Rudy? We got 7 people in the house. Back to house cleaning, by the way. So tomorrow I'm going to be live at 4 p.m. Eastern time with Marcus Toe. We are going to be talking about Excalibur and get ready for the Hellfire Gala. So that's something you guys won't want to miss. I'm excited. You got 2 shows that day also, so I do want to give a quick plug to this guy right over here who is live with his daughters at 11 a.m. Eastern time, early morning his time. And then you got Justin No Good Comics, who I think will be here soon. And he will be on at 2 o'clock, I believe, for his Comic Collector Origins, which that's always fun. So you guys have a Saturday lineup of shows for you guys. Monday, Ryan and I have Weekly Wrap Up, which I don't know what we're going to talk about yet. So that's going to be fun.
You mean Hall of Fame, Hall of Shame.
Oh, yeah, we have Hall of Fame, Hall of Shame. Thank you, Bryce. Speaking of Justin, there he is. Station Travis.
Station Guy Gardner. Oh.
Station Guy Gardner. What's going on, Fable? So that's what I got. And then Wednesday, Bryce and I will be interviewing Becky Cloonan and Michael Conrad for Wonder Woman. That's going to be a lot of fun. And then next Saturday, Will Sportacio is going to be on. And then between those dates, you got Tag Team Thursday and Weekly Wrap Up. So I have a stream for every night of the week. Yay.
Just a little thing about Becky Cloonan real fast. First female to ever draw Batman, the main title. So she has a footnote in history. And she helped create Bluebird. Yes.
Yeah, a character I don't care about, but I will definitely ask.
She was interesting and kind of got.
Well, she was interesting, and then Tanya
she'll forever have a character she created in the Batman mythos.
Yes.
Station to you, missing link, and we got Chet somewhere in here. The Chet just jumped on me. Dale Justin, jeez, just because he makes you spend money does not mean you have to not like him. Like, oh my gosh, jeez.
Station to you, Chet Scotland.
Yeah. So Dan, what do you got going on? A little bit of house.
Love you too, Fable.
Of course, every Thursday, part of Tag Team Thursday, I do pull lists with a little bit of reviews. I also have the Ink Panels graphic novel book club coming up. We're doing an indie book called Chica Cabra, a female chupacabra. It's a friend of Gambit, who is my co-host, along with Jennifer, Comics Will Break Your Heart. So we're doing a true indie. And then Brandon and I have on Running with the Devil in about a week or two.
Yeah.
Daredevil.
Probably next
Frank
Sunday.
Miller. I work Sundays.
Oh.
So we're going to have to talk about that off the air.
Yeah.
Frank Miller's Daredevil Volume 1. We're going to be discussing that, and every episode we're going to be switching channels. This next one will be on my channel. And we'll be talking about different Daredevil storylines or trades. We'll be jumping around to our favorite creative teams.
There we go. Right on. I'm excited. I'm super excited for that. It's Daredevil, Frank Miller, and Bryce. What do you got going on, brother?
I mean, like you said, I'm going to be on with you Wednesday to help interview Becky Cloonan and Michael Conrad. And other than that, I just kind of got some stuff going on my IG page here and there. I'm kind of taking a break from YouTube just to kind of see what kind of content I want to put out there,
right?
And just really do some in-house cleaning of my own.
Right on, brother. And I think we've all been through that process. When you're ready to hit it, don't you dare quit it. That's a good life motto, by the way. Hashtag hit it and never quit it in the comment section.
Oh man,
that's gonna be the hashtag for the show.
Hit it and never quit it, everyone.
Station.
But let's get right into these books. Let's start off with Star Wars War of the Bounty Hunters #1. This is by Charles Soule and Steve McNiven. This is like the Star Wars event that is getting everyone back into reading Star Wars if you were only reading Darth Vader. Or if you love The Mandalorian, so you want more Mandalorian, this is your OG Mandalorian in a book, so read it.
Yeah.
So basically the whole premise of this book is what happened after Boba Fett took Han Solo in the Carbonite. Because this was the first time that anyone has ever been frozen in Carbonite. This was the original trilogy. So, yes. Travis, where is your wrench? I did not give you a wrench. You got to earn it the hard way, bro. I'm sorry.
Or just complain about it nonstop.
Or just...
I don't even have one, TM.
Bryce, that's because you're always on the show. You don't need a wrench if you're always with me.
Well, I mean, for the other shows,
Oh, fine. Travis, you got to earn your ropes, bro. But, yeah, this was happening, and he goes to Nar Shaddaa because there's something going wrong with the kryptonite. Not the kryptonite, the carbonite. Ugh. The carbonite, which is totally normal. And Bib Fortuna, if that's however you pronounce his name. I only remember that guy from the Lego game back in the day. I know, but no one cared for him. He said 2 words. I mean, so did Boba Fett, but...
That was more than Salacious Crumb.
He cackled repeatedly. Man, justice for Salacious Crumb.
Yeah, come on,
Justice
man.
for Salacious Crumb.
What's up, Bobby? How are you doing, brother? And if you guys did want to chime in your thoughts about this book, you did read it, let us know in the comments. Yes, Travis, you're happy now you have your wrench. Get over it. So Boba takes it to this guy, Nar Shaddaa. He's like, yo, but you're here now. He's like, I can't take your method of payment, so go do something for me. Go kill this person who is very protected by the Hutts of that sector. So obviously, like, Boba's like, dude, like, no. And he's like, but I'll get it done. So he's like, fine. And he has to enter this arena, which what I love about this book is Charles Soule knows exactly what people are going to care about.
The all onyx armor that he's rocking is Django.
Yes, he paints his armor. He paints his armor to match that of his father's. And when he enters the arena, he's like, oh, yeah, I need to tell these people that I'm not Boba Fett so they don't have like a bounty out for me, even though I'm Boba Fett and no one can kill me. I'm Django today. That's my only complaint is why couldn't he come out with like a better name for himself rather than just like, no, like you can easily link A to B. That's my only complaint. But we get like a cool little flashback to like him entering the arena. Obviously, he knows what happened the last time a Mandalorian or someone in his family entered the arena. Let's just say they felt the full wrath of Mace Windu chopping their head off. So he likes his head. So obviously and like the next page, you just see him chop some Rodian's head off. And I'm like, Nice.
This is why him being Django worked. This panel right here, straight out of Attack of the Clones.
Right.
I loved it.
And McNiven did some great gore when he's slashing the people apart. Like,
yeah, and the inker, whoever was inking this, really like big shout out to them. I don't even think that's in like the credits.
Laura Martin.
Laura Martin, yeah, she's very solid. Didn't she do the colors and inks for Daredevil for some time in the current run? But
she also did Thor.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Thor. Yeah. Make sure you guys do press the thumbs up, but gently though. If you're gonna smash it, do it gently. And make sure you guys do so much to the channel. Give some love. Follow these guys on Instagram and I almost said TikTok and YouTube. But you know, the last time these two collabed, Sewell and McNiven, it really wasn't anything spectacular. It was the return of Wolverine, and that was complete and utter garbage. And I love Charles Sewell. Like his mind is phenomenal with Daredevil and Star Wars. So that he fights this chick who he was hired to fight, and she reminds me of that Saga character.
The Stalk.
The Stalk. Yes.
Yeah, I was like getting major Stalk vibes from her.
I love the high head with the eyes.
Yeah, especially because she died so quickly, and he just like he goes back, and the person who was fixing the carbonite, or not the carbonite got shot, and they took Han Solo. So these bounty hunters who took Han Solo is a big mystery. So now it's like every bounty hunter in the galaxy now knows that Boba Fett is looking for Han Solo, and Jabba is not happy. And Boba's like, "Yeah, fuck off. I'm gonna be a minute."
Yeah, like
turned him into Taskmaster, basically.
Yeah. So Boba Fett's probably gonna like get a nice drink, take some Advil, and just like take a nap and go at it the next day.
But onto that McNiven stuff. McNiven, when he's on and has time to work on a book,
incredible.
He's fantastic.
It really is, you know, and the way that like the whole time of these Star Wars books that came out, Afra, Darth Vader, and the Bounty Hunters book that I was just rereading following this, which is not great. When Boba Fett's in the book, it's great, but the art is very smudged. You know, I feel like
Boba Fett's the Joker of Star Wars universe. He's overused a tiny bit.
I think he's underused. I think he's very underused because he comes in appearances, but he's never showcased like he was in this issue. Like when Joker's in the book, Joker is the book. In the Bounty Hunters book, and whenever Boba has appeared in Star Wars comics, he's never really stolen the show, never really in the movies, and we all want him to. So I think that finally,
even in shows like The Mandalorian, like Boba Fett showed up, but then a few episodes later, everybody forgot about him because Ahsoka was there.
Right, and Grogu was there, and also people, people were so attached to the Mando character. I think that it wasn't necessarily like it was when I said it wasn't Grogu and Mando. It was still the Mando show, right?
Yeah. Which if they ever came out with a Din Djarin solo book, I would read that.
I would. They came out with a Poe Dameron book, which was fantastic by Charles Soule and Phil Noto.
It was good. Phil Noto, like
I love Poe Dameron.
If you guys are looking for an underrated artist, Phil Noto is the underrated artist.
Very much so.
Like no cap. The director's cut is dope. I did not get the director's cut, so I would love to see that. That would be very interesting.
The one for Old Man
I was talking to you guys
Logan was good.
Well, sorry, Dan. What were you saying?
So the Old Man Logan director's cut was really good.
Yes, okay. I agree. What's up, brother Joe? Station to you, sir.
I was talking to you guys before the show, and like this book between Soule's writing and McNiven's art, this got me excited to go back and read the Star Wars comics from this current wave that I missed because I haven't been pulling them. So if you want something to get you into Star Wars books,
yes,
this is it. Right here.
I agree. And if you guys are on the fence of whether or not to jump on this book and you do like Star Wars, you do like the Mandalorian show, I think like Bryce said, that is a great starting on point. You don't need to read anything else just because I think most people by now have the basic premise of Empire Strikes Back or of the original trilogy. And that's what's great about this Star Wars timeline. You can jump on it anytime, right? Yeah. Like High Republic, I feel like you need more background.
See, I feel with the all new characters, it's an easier jumping on point.
What's up, Rod? Yeah, but the way the Force works and like the way the systematic like hierarchy of the Jedi in that book is something that you need to understand from the Old Republic or like even pre-Attack of the Clones. I just feel like that's a little bit like it's very systemic. So I feel like for new Star Wars readers, that can be a little bit confusing, or that could be a different obstacle.
I mean, if you're a big prequels fan, then it should be an easier transition.
Yeah, but a lot of people are jumping onto Star Wars because of Mando, which I think makes this book better than High Republic for newer fans, you know? So that's my biggest thing. You know, they're all great reads, you know? So you can't go wrong. It's just if you're looking to get into Star Wars, I would say this is the better route to go for, especially because you have more film in that area.
Yeah.
As well, to kind of further your knowledge instead of going on Google, going through YouTube, you know, just be lazy and watch Disney Plus. It's
if you know what's going on during this timeline, like this is literally between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
Right.
If you've seen those two movies, you know what happens before and you know what happens after.
Right. For sure. Great to see the audience growing. Yeah, the audience is lit tonight, yo. The audience is lit tonight, and I guess we're doing a good job. Bryce, you read a book this week.
I did. It was a fantastic book. Probably, other than Nightwing, my favorite book from DC right now.
Ooh, we got it.
That is The Swamp Thing.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Dan would show his book, but he has this nice little Justin iPad.
Nice little Justin iPad. Yeah, so this book is basically, this issue is like an exploration of the green. And just really starting this deep dive that's probably going to be going on for the next couple of issues. So we start out with Levi. He's going into this MRI machine, and they're trying to figure out what's going on with his transformation. And while he's in here, he transforms. And then him and his lady, Jennifer, end up in this green, almost like world labyrinth of sorts. Like a green dimension.
Right. It's like this world, the world of the green. That's what we're going to call it.
There we go.
Mike Perkins killed the imagery of the green. Like, killed it.
Gosh. Like
he's one of the nicest artists I've met. I got a commission from him of Kitty and Magic. One of the nicest dudes. And also, if you want to get a commission from him, his prices are freaking insanely good.
Mike Perkins is a fantastic guy, and I've met him several times too, you know. He's awesome. You can't go wrong with him. We got Raging Cajun Comics in here.
What's going on, Raging Cajun?
I feel like Mike Perkins is definitely in his element right here. And this book is so like reminiscent of Alan Moore vibes. It's fantastic. It's Alan Moore vibes, but with a modern kick to it.
Rom V was fan. Like, clearly he was a fan.
Dude, I think Ron V has had this story in his bag for years and just was waiting on the artist, on Mike Perkins to be available, because he was drawing a 12-issue Lois Lane series that no one read.
It was good. I liked it.
Yeah, it was great. But no one read it because everyone was so sick of Leviathan at that point. It was like anything tied to it, no one cared about.
Also,
I wasn't a Superman fan at that point, so why would I care about Lois Lane?
Right.
Yeah, Lois Lane was and the images.
Oh, it was awesome, bro. But anyway, Bryce, let's continue with Swamp Thing, bro.
So Swamp Thing shows up and he's looking for this girl, and he has an encounter with a version of Poison Ivy, just known as Ivy. And we come to find out later there's kind of like a weird dynamic there. So she is basically showing him around, showing Swamp Thing the ropes because he doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah, but she's hot. Sorry. Proceed.
We get introduced to these all sorts of like creatures. Like this page right here is gorgeous.
Yes.
I'm not sure how you pronounce it, like the wood wasp or something.
That to me was the page that like I was like, he's got the green down, like he's got it in his head, and then Woodrue shows up.
This almost reminded me of like either you guys ever play Shadow of the Colossus?
Yes.
That's what that reminded me of. I had major Colossus vibes.
The two Ivies were her differing personalities.
Yeah.
One, the hateful one, the one that is kind of meek.
Right. So it's not poison ivy. It's a different ivy, and that was kind of like low-key sad. She's like, I'm not poison ivy. I'm just ivy. I'm here in the green, which is cool. And yes, Fable, thank you for saying that I'm not wrong. See, I got some support in here. Keeping things real with y'all. And John needs someone to explain the two ivies. I guess they're like two different people living in the green that are like kind of in charge of like how things work.
See, I was under the impression that it is poison ivy, and it's just
one's poison, one's ivy, in my opinion.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. That wasn't the main focus of the book. I think. Yeah. So this is what I remembered is like, you remember when Yoda in the Clone Wars entered like that force area to try to learn how to be his force ghost to like get his, I thought it was like those kind of characters, or it's like the Stepford Cuckoos, right? They're kind of just more like tour guides.
Okay.
That's the way that I viewed them, at least.
Which that would make sense, but I don't know. I feel like he's going to dive into that more in an upcoming issue.
Hey, we just had 20 in here, though. I mean, I'm not really like looking, but I just saw 20. So I
feel like he'll address that in maybe like issue 7.
I feel like we're going to be in the green for a bit.
Yeah.
Which I'm all for.
Right, and the colors are fantastic. Mike Spicer is doing the colors, and he is probably, him and Marte Gracia are probably the two best colorists in the industry right now.
Oh, Marte Gracia. But isn't Mike Spicer doing the colors on Beta Ray Bill right now too?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Those are two of the best, like, for the art styles.
And Bryce, do not even say Guru EFX because you did not read the Man-Thing Spider-Man issue. That Guru EFX colored incredibly wrong.
I like Guru EFX with what he's done with X-Force.
Yeah, his alien colors look good. Thank you. See, Dan knows.
No, I didn't predict that. I got the advanced reader like you did from Steve Orlando, and I was just bro.
I've stayed away from the Man-Thing stuff. I've stayed away from it.
I'm only reading it because it's really like just sent to me. It's sent to us, so it's like Dan and I like kind of know everything that Steve Orlando's doing before like everyone else. Like Jen's on Mondays, I think, and I'm like, that's cool.
I think it was just for the death of Layla Starr.
Yeah, I think it was just that. I might be on, if I can pull some strings, I might be on Becky Clooney and Michael Conrads, but that'd be cool. I mean, I might hit him up and say, hey, can I just have like a copy to read so like I can promote before the show? Yeah, so I'm gonna do that. But anyway, let's continue the book. That's why we're talking about it. Sorry, guys. I'm so sorry.
So Jennifer gets almost stepped on and is encountered by this Woodry character. I don't trust him personally. I think something's going on with him. Me being a totally new Swamp Thing fan, I don't know if this is already established character or anything.
He is very much so.
Okay. But yeah, so she's going with him for a little bit. We meet the poison side of Ivy in this, and she's sitting on a throne. So this is probably where the Poison Ivy personality is put in charge, because I feel like that is very psychological.
Right, and this book is like full of like strong elements and strong characters. Like I'm getting like major Khaleesi vibes from her.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting major like Targaryen. Bryce, you saw Game of Thrones?
I know what you're talking about with Khaleesi. I know her arc.
Okay. Like I was like, did we ever talk about Game of Thrones? I don't remember.
At a base level. I haven't watched it though.
I think that's too much for you, Bryce.
Maybe. But
read the books.
Read the books.
Yeah, the books are good. I read the first one.
But there's a little bit of a fight between Poison Ivy and Swamp Thing. Only for Ivy to save him. And then all of a sudden, Swamp Thing's about to lose it. But he gets talked down by this mysterious shadowy figure who we find out is Alec Holland.
Very meta. Very, very meta.
Yes.
Not the original Swamp Thing, but the long-running Swamp Thing.
The one you all know about.
The one we care about, yeah.
No one cares about the other one.
Yeah. So basically the book ends with him showing Levi Swamp Thing around the green and basically saying, hey, I'm going to show you the works around here, and I know you figured out a little bit, but we're gonna get all this figured out.
Right.
There's a contagion in the green, apparently.
Yes.
Yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah. Something's going on.
Right. So I feel like what's going to be happening next is we're just going to be in the world of the green, and we're going to go like the way Immortal Hulk did when they were in the Green Door, and just go that route.
Super fun arc.
Yes. So I'm excited for that. It's because it's like DC's Immortal Hulk. It's just the Immortal Swamp Thing.
Which I've heard that once this hits its initial 10 issues, that if it's sold well enough, that it could go on for longer. I don't know if I'm wrong in saying that or not, but that's what I heard.
They'd be dumb not to at this point.
Exactly.
Right.
Like it needs to go on.
Which it's DC, so that makes me question it already.
Yeah, right. Like, okay, so I know like a lot of people are on the DC bandwagon. The reason why I'm calling it a bandwagon is because it's DC introducing a new era, a new reboot. And each reboot we have been so hyped for all these titles, hopefully getting their green light. And a lot of them are, right? We're seeing a lot of good titles. But the way DC does is they come out with a bunch of titles, and then a year later, you're going to see half of them. Because then they're going to start getting to their main continuity of their main, like, establishing that. I'm telling you, the Infinite Frontier miniseries by Josh Williamson and Zermanico is coming out in about a month or two. And I guarantee you, after that miniseries, DC is going to say, hey, we have a timeline to address. Because think about what happened in Infinite Frontier. Everything is eventually going to cut back to it. Not Future State, but to Infinite Frontier. Because you got Darkseid who killed the Quintessence. You got to deal with Alan Scott. You got to deal with Roy Harper. Right? You got to deal with what Barry Allen is supposed to be doing. So you have a lot. And you have to deal with the Quintessence being dead. Okay?
And you know Diana's going to play a huge part of that. And they got to deal with her too.
And you know that's in about a year they're going to pull Hal Jordan out of their ass and say, there he is. There's all this time. There he is.
John Romita Jr. will draw Darkseid and really disappoint us again.
Ugh. That just makes me cringe. Like, I just like, ugh. But, you know, so like, I know like a lot of people, this is their first DC reboot. So I'm very on edge with a lot of their solo books that feel like indies. Like Swamp Thing should be a Vertigo book at this point. It really
Black
should
Label,
be.
Whatever.
Yeah, it should.
Label, yeah.
Right. But like with Teen Titans, I don't think that book is going to be around in a year and a half. I don't. Right. I think once they get onto their next arc after Red X, I think it's not going to be all that more addressed because it may not tie into their main continuity. You know,
this felt like them just needing to introduce Red X.
Right. It feels like we just need people reading DC right now. So we're going to do it. And they're good books. You know, I'm not knocking that. It's just I'm concerned about what they're going to do with all these different independent books that you can just read isolated. Like if you're only reading DC and you read Teen Titans, you still feel included. But you can tell that the writers don't talk because Tim Sheridan is writing Nightwing with Starfire with a totally different personality. And then you got Tom Taylor who is writing Nightwing like he's a new person, like he's a new character, which essentially, if you're following continuity, he is. You don't need to worry about Future State because whatever books don't sell are going to go out the door. Whatever does sell is going to be in the multiverse that Future State ends up to, because keep in mind, we have the infinite multiverse theory in DC Comics.
And Yara Flor will have lasting. She will outlast whatever changes happen.
She will outlast Timothy Fox. She will outlast the next Batman because, I'm sorry, but if Travel Foreman does not get a job after this in DC Comics, I would not be surprised. And John Ridley, they're like, oh, we signed him to a huge deal. He's a movie writer, so let's give him a book. He didn't sell anything, but let's do that. So, yeah, DC is awesome right now. Future State brought in Future State introduced a possible future. Okay, again, if it doesn't sell, they can just throw it in a different multiverse. That's just
brought new readers in.
It did.
Which is the most important.
Right.
Exactly.
It did its job. It brought in new readers. I'm just a little bit concerned about their continuity. Justin here is being a simp for Yara. Justin, who would you prefer, Storm or Yara?
Ooh.
What a boss move DC made with those Fortnite books. So many kids came into the comic store. If we just retain a few of them, that's a win. Awesome job, DC. Yeah, a lot of kids did, which is why I'm so mad at people who are hoarding them for their resale value. And I'm just like, dude, what are you doing? Like, is the $25 you could potentially resell it more important to you than having that in a kid's like in the hands of a kid? That's
the only thing though is they only sure they may only care right now about the Fortnite code, but what if that's all they cared about? What if they just threw the comic in the trash after getting the Fortnite?
That was a no-brainer. Yeah, but still, it's like, what do you want to do as a comic industry? It's like, what do you want to do? And DC needs to print. They should have printed more copies because they're also limited print run of it, like lower than most of their other print books. So, and if they're like, oh, we didn't expect kids to come on, it's Fortnite. You got a 5-year-old in the comic. What did you expect? They're like, oh, but it's going to be digital in 3 months. Yeah, but they don't care in 3 months. It's very in the now. Kids are very in the now. So DC needed to print like it was in the now. Kind of like how, and I hate to say this, Ross Ritchie did with Berserker. Even though his 1 to 50 covers are probably around the same print run as this book in my hand, which we will be talking about next. But speaking of Strange Academy number 10, this is by Scotty Young and Humberto Ramos. This was my pick of the week, which is very surprising because it was a fantastic read. So following the last story, which was the parent-kid day, looks like a bring your parent to school day. They are going to go on a field trip, okay? And also in this book, Doyle Dormammu died and saving, what's her name? Saving Emily's life. So like we're dealing with like their teenage romance. Meanwhile, Eric is like also in love with Emily. But we're going on a field trip to Asgard, which is cool because it's like a magic school bus, but like a and I'm getting Sheena to read it this weekend, and she's gonna be bugging me about it. I'm looking forward to it.
Are you getting read Strange Academy?
Yes, I'm getting Sheena to read Strange Academy because it was fantastic. So they're going on the bus, and like Doyle's like kind of like saying, "Can I sit with you?" But Eric slides in, and they're just like having their like dominance like kind of thing. But Doyle's not about it because he knows that if he does, he's just going to get compared to his dad. So they go on, and then you have who's that big? Who's the? Then you have like Gus,
the Frost Giant.
Yeah, Gus is just kind of like hanging from the back, but
I love Galactus's helmet at the Rainbow Bridge. Like I love
all that. My gosh, TM, bigger things are coming from DC. Trust me, I'm TM. Yeah, bigger things. That doesn't necessarily mean better. Bigger is not always better. I'm just full of life quotes today. But that may be in some people's favor. So we get to Asgard. We come out of this big Galactus helmet because we're reminding people that Galactus just got his ass kicked in Thor.
I don't know how anyone could forget that.
Yeah, no one can forget it. Nick Klein put his whole life's work into that one page. And it was fantastic. But everyone gets off the school bus and they're like, "Where's Thor? Where's Thor?" And Eric and Alvin see their dad, not their mother. And on the bus, it was like, "Oh, are you excited to meet your parents?" And Eric was like, "Yeah, my dad, but my mother, ... which we're going to find out who his mother is. But the tour host is Volstagg. And I'm like, yes. So what is the first thing Volstagg does is he takes him to the most important place, which is the feasting area. And I'm like, that's such a Volstagg thing to do. He's like, let's talk. We're in the food place. This is the greatest place on earth. So think about.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
Think about in Legend of Korra when you had all the different people at different elements in one place at the one time. It was like there was a bunch of riots because they don't know how to act with each other. That was kind of the same thing.
You talking about like in Republic City?
Yeah, in Republic City. So Shaylee gets a new boyfriend who is Toph. And she's like, "You're so adorable. You're so adorable." She's very aggressive about it. She's like, and it's really, really funny. They made a gazebo entrance out of it. They did, though. It was so much fun. And I loved it. This book is so much fun. And it's such a great book for new readers.
I can just see like Buddy the Elf walking through. It's like I crossed the Rainbow Bridge and through the Galactus Tunnel.
Right. It's like if you just want a book just to enjoy and laugh and just it's full-hearted. You know, there's like a warm feeling, but it's so fun, and you can just laugh.
It's got humor. It's got a lot. Like Magic's one of the instructors And like she was like, just let me send him to hell. Just please let me send him to hell.
And I think like as a parent or as like a mentor, if you've done that before with kids, I know when I used to teach karate, I used to want to do that with some of my kids. I used to want to say, hey, go to hell, but
just not literally.
Yeah, but so they're all there, right? Shaylee gets a new boyfriend, and Eric kind of dozes off, and Doyle's like, I got you. Now, Doyle's my favorite character in this place. Like, I love this guy to death. So Eric goes all the way to the life tree, and Doyle's like kind of following him, and we figure out who Eric's mother is. It is the Enchantress, and I'm like, that's so cool. Because all I want is for more people to use this character because I think she has the potential to be better than Hela. It's a hot take. I like Enchantress much better than Hela, and I think like in the MCU she will be. I honestly think in the MCU they could use her so much better than they did Hela.
Hell, I just wasn't a fan of Hela all around. Like she was a good villain, but not for me.
It might go on. So what this book did was in between arcs, it went on like a hiatus. So like after the first arc, because Humberto Ramos is drawing the whole thing, that goes on like a hiatus in between arcs because it takes a while for him to draw it. It's like you're getting vibes like when Brubaker and Epting would draw and write every page of Captain America, right? Yes. Or like Bendis and Malieve would do every issue. And there would be a hiatus at some point. So I think that's really just what it is.
Seems like a good time to catch up then.
Chamorro, what's going on, bro?
Agent Chamorro.
Yo, what is up, Bret Hart? Thank you so much for joining. Welcome. It's your first time.
Happy me, Brother Joe, big chewing glasses.
Yes, sir. But yeah,
Mean Gene.
But so we learn about his mother, and we're having like Eric having mommy issues, and Doyle comes in and they don't like each other, but Doyle is like, let me cover for you. And they go, and Emily's like going to find Doyle. For some reason, they have phone service. Emily catches them up at what happened because, what's her name? Emily?
Emily walks up.
Yeah, Emily walks up, and Gus is just like going into like a frenzy outside, and someone accidentally bumped into Toth, who is Shaylee's boyfriend, so she's like goes off on a rampage, and everyone just gets into this big fight because now you have like elves who are unhappy, and you have an angry little fairy just going at everyone, so it was a whole lot of fun. And there's like a big brawl, and there's Volstagg just doing that. But Emily and Doyle kind of like have their moment. They go up on the world tree and they hang out, they're talking, and Enchantress is like telling Eric like about Dormammu, not Doyle. It's like, you got to like keep an eye out on this guy because if he's anything like his father, like y'all are screwed. But because he's very powerful, right? And even like as a kid, station, everyone joining in. But anyway, like Emily like now is getting a chance to like properly thank him for saving his life. And I love when like Doyle gets all like red. Like you can just see the way they color him.
The coloring changes on his flame.
Right. And it's so funny. And just like the way they do it is so well done. And why isn't my computer letting me scroll down to see everyone else's comments? Okay.
Oh dear.
There we go. You're the best. I'm the best there is, the best there was, and the best there will ever be. You know what? That is a kick-ass attitude. I like it.
Nice.
Yeah, but so they kiss, and again, you just see like the coloring of the flame, like whenever he like gets in like his little teenage mode of like, and it was so much fun. And then they kiss, and then she's like, "Now you can thank me." And the school bus shows up, and they're like, "Oh my gosh!" And it just ends with like, with Emily just saying, not Emily, with I keep getting their names mixed up, with Shaylee saying, they shouldn't have messed with my boyfriend. It's so funny. And they're like, yeah, we got kicked out of Asgard.
Oh gosh.
It's like the magic school bus.
This book does sound like a ride, I'll admit.
It's like such a ride. But that's that book, and we can move on to Bryce's.
Okay, so speaking of a book that is fun, wholehearted, like lighthearted, enjoyable, funny, this is none of those. We have Noctera, issue number 3.
Yeah, we just went dark real quick, pun intended.
Literally dark.
Yeah, which this and Crossover are probably my 2 favorite Image books coming out right now. Like the 2 I get the most excited about.
Oof, Crossover.
Oh, I just popped my hips back in. Ow.
See, okay, on level of like excitement and hype. Now, if we were talking about firepower, I could talk about that book all day.
I still haven't read it.
It's good.
But and you're going in timeout.
John's always talking about it.
Yeah, it's fun.
But we start out with a little bit of a flashback sequence when this whole shade thing. Yes, it is. This is honestly probably the weakest issue so far, in my opinion.
Really?
But
I thought this one was the best.
Great. It had some strong moments in it, I thought.
It had some very strong moments.
I thought this was like the best one in the series so far. Like it was the one where I can comprehend the most and not have to deal with Scott Snyder, and not just, yeah.
It had one of the creepiest scenes I've ever seen in a comic book in a while with the parents.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
But we're going to get to that. So we start off with a flashback sequence. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with the shades. And we find out that once their eyes go red and the pupils turn a certain shape, there's no going back. And that is important to know later on in this issue. So we see Val and Emery watching this news broadcast. Their parents are still outside. And all of a sudden, they come to the door. And Emery just wants to let him in. Val doesn't want him to do it. Emery still thinks they sound like the parents, but they open the door. And we get to that scene that Dan was talking about where we see their glowing eyes and we see their pupils. And we know that they've turned. And basically, this entire issue is about a shade's allegiance being to the darkness. Yeah, Tony S. Daniels doing some of the best artwork I'm seeing right now. Honestly.
Probably the best of his career.
Of his career?
I would say.
It's reminding me of the book he did when he first came up, the 10th.
Right.
At certain times.
Like, to me, what's his name? Tony Daniel was never, like, overly strong until he started being the filler artist on Batman. And I was like, okay, you could be a main artist somewhere. But that never translated until like this book.
Yeah.
Like I always saw him as a fantastic filler artist who was never given like a main title other than Deathstroke, but that was never until he didn't do Deathstroke when he was good.
Am I the only one who reads this cinematically? Like I almost like when I'm reading it, see it as a movie.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I think it's me.
I can see it as a series. Like an AMC series.
That too.
I think this would be like a great movie format, like kind of like the Old Guard transferred over. I don't know. Like I feel like I'm with Dan on that one.
Like the whole part with the car chase and everything. I'm just like, this is just, I could just see this on a big screen.
Right.
Oh,
I did see the black and white variant. I just passed on it.
Crossover is a great book.
Crossover is fantastic.
Get on it, TM.
Travis, come on, bro.
There are plenty of issue 1s out there. Issue 2 is probably not too hard to find, and issue 3 came out this week. So.
2 and 3 are just going back to second print now.
It's not.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep. It's not heavily spec'd on by Key Collector, so you can find it at your local shop.
Fuck Key Collector. Sorry.
So it should be. It should
be. Yeah, but Comic Tom is only concerned about what will be in a show or a movie right now.
Which you got books like Shadecraft and stuff for that if you want to spec on some indies. Paper Girls too. Casting just got announced.
Saw that. Love horror movies.
I enjoy some.
I'm a wimp when it comes to horror movies.
Like you give me a monster horror story like this, like A Quiet Place, Signs, going back to comics, Something's Killing the Children, monster horror stuff like that, I love.
What's up, Rudy? I will. You can find me on Comixkings because I'm doing a show right now. I will probably forget. So how about you DM me at Comixkings? If you don't know it, it's also the same as my YouTube.
There we go.
Legion. My God, station.
But yeah, so after the flashback, we go back to where issue 2 left off, where they're in the semi truck. They're being chased by that Blacktop Bill character, who's a really cool character. What's up, Vindicated?
That's my homie right there.
Other than his name, I'm not a fan of the name Blacktop Bill.
Why not?
I don't. It just seems too hick for this book.
I love how there's this whole kind of like a fable about him, sort of like mythology.
I've been hearing about Dylan's horror show on YouTube like for a very long time. I just have not been able to check out his stuff yet, but I definitely will. Thank you, Rod. Thanks, Rod. And Melvin is in here. What's going on, brother?
I would agree it's one of the best new I wouldn't put it in the category of best ongoings quite yet. I think it will be.
Best Snyder book in a while.
It's the best Snyder book.
I'm enjoying this a lot more than
I can read. I think this is right there with his Justice League and one of my top Snyder reads.
You liked his Justice League?
I loved his Justice League. I loved it, dude.
I've not read it.
We got Hidden Gem in here. What's up,
Hidden Gem, what's up? But yeah, so they're in this entire book is basically a car chase.
Yeah.
So they keep getting there. There's a chase, and there's more chase, and there's more of a chase.
Some harpooning.
Some harpooning. And
I do love a good harpooning.
What's the grandfather's name? Gus?
I think so.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Well, the grandfather.
Yes.
Basically sacrifices himself so the rest of them can survive. And then we find out something really interesting, that Blacktop Bill was created by this dude. Which I thought was a really interesting little twist. And so they get to this cave that's lit up by these handprints and by different lamps and harpoon.
Yeah, exactly. We got Jaro. Why didn't you like it? It's Jaro.
Well, that's the only highlight of it, though.
No, but you got the best Hawk Girl that you've had in ever.
Excuse me. Brian Michael Bendis' Hawk Girl
is trash. That's.
Can we not talk about Brian Michael Bendis' DC work, please?
Oh man,
I don't have the time.
I've been paying $5 for 10 pages of that book, pretty much. The Justice League Dark by Ron B.
Yes.
Yes, fantastic.
Which I don't even know how much longer I'm going to be picking up Justice League.
Let's keep moving.
So, yeah, but Val is basically taking care of Emery because we know he started his transformation. They've tried to delay it. Huh?
And Bailey, the granddaughter.
Bailey's the granddaughter. Has she started transforming yet? I don't think she has.
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, basically, they're talking about the handprints, trying to figure out if they're real or not, because that's just a little conversation. And then Bailey hands Val one of her grandfather's books. And so basically, on the last page, this was the biggest plot twist of the entire issue. We find out that Emery's he's gone. Emery's gone.
Yep, Emery's gone. Bye-bye.
Which I was hoping they would do a little more with this character because I liked him, but I'm fine with it.
Snyder wants to piss you off, and that's just his way of doing it.
Well, I mean, this would be the book to do that in. If you're going to do something in the vein of, I don't want to say Walking Dead or Saga, but that's like where they get you attached to characters and then they just kill them off.
They did it.
Scott Snyder's gonna piss you off in every book. I don't think you can ever walk away from a Scott Snyder book and say, I liked every aspect.
Well, no, I mean, I'm fine with that. I don't dislike that.
Right.
I think it wouldn't have been the route I would have taken it. I would have probably waited till a little bit later to fully shade him. But if you're going to do it, I feel like Snyder can take it in a direction that would be better than I expect.
Yeah. And he will. I trust him with this book. And it's something he's been planning for a while. It started off as a Kickstarter, which I think is really cool how far it's been.
Yeah.
Okay, we got some chats jumping into. Justice Dark has an omnibus I don't. Is it the New 52 one or is it the Tinian one? If it's is it the Tinian one? Because I guess it could be an omnibus, but it's so early.
New 52.
I think it's the New 52, but that's good too. You got Dead Man. You got Legion Comics said Ben has been on Justice. He hasn't been on Justice League long enough to judge, but it's not off to a bad start. Wish Williamson was in it though, because Williamson is planning. He is their anchor. So like we were talking about earlier with DC reboots, they always have an anchored writer. New 52 was Jeff Johns. Rebirth was supposed to be Jeff Johns, but they quickly flipped it over to Scott Snyder and said, here you go, whatever you want to go, whatever you want to do. Because
which the thing with Williamson's a good character writer. I don't know if he's a good event writer.
Well, you're going to find out.
You're going to find out.
I also think it's fun how Ben is using Ollie to be real meta to the readers. He knows his weaknesses and he's addressed them in context. Yeah, but I don't like the way he's writing Ollie at the same time. Because I think Ollie Scott Snyder is an awesome dude. Yes.
Exceptionally nice.
No, I love Scott Snyder, and I love him as a writer. I think as like reviewers or you're reviewing something, it's not always going to be nice. I love his work. It's just, I know going into a Snyder book, it's a chore. It's a big chore. And he's written some of my favorite books. He's written some of my favorite Batman books.
He still has that thing that Stephen King has where he doesn't know how to end a book. Like he trips at the end constantly.
We need DC. Yeah, so Ron V did write the last part of JLD after Tinian left. Kai Holtz did some issues, and Martinez Bueno, Alvaro Martinez Bueno did it as well.
If they would give us that, I would be off of Justice League so fast.
Right. And Justice League Dark was fantastic, and it was like it's great. It's great. You got Bobo in it. Now you're taking Bobo away from us. You can't do that to me. I need Bobo in my life, and I need to rant about something else. We're going to rant about this garbage book. Dan needed a drink before the show because he knew we were talking about this book. Dan, cheers, bro.
I already finished that drink in preparation. I'm not getting total old wolf, but
yeah.
I think Bret Hart was asking what the wrenches were for.
Yeah.
And so, thanks, Legion.
So. This is by Nick Spencer, who has been on this book 65 too many issues, but you're going to get more Spider-Man with this King's Ransom arc, or this big event coming out. But, this is also art by Federico Vincentini. And so basically, the Timeless Stone, whatever you want to call it, it's like this thing that forms into a tablet. So very like Night at the Museum type vibes. Kingpin is after it, but so is Boomerang. So the whole premise of the story is Kingpin has hired a big hit. Okay. At the same time, Norman is trying to give therapy to Kindred, who is his son, that we don't like. Because that fell flat in its face. Rudy, yo, hit me up on Instagram, bro, because I'll have to go back in the chat and do that. But I'll find you.
Peace out, Rudy. Have a good night.
Have a good night, bro.
Thank you.
So we're dealing with that, and Kingpin wants to take over that because he wants to use Kindred for whatever Kingpin is doing. So he hires Baron Mordo. We found that in the last issue. At the same time, you're also dealing with Beetle and Randy Robertson got kidnapped by Madame Mask and some other schmuck that she hired. If you ask me,
Crime Master,
who is a sidekick. What?
I believe the word's jabroni. Like, just he is a jobber. He's a crappy character.
Yeah, so this art did me no favors, especially like with this page of Kindred. Felt so weird. It felt so miscolored. And who's doing the colors? It's
Alex Sinclair, which is weird.
Which is very weird. And Alex Sinclair is a friend of the show. So I don't understand. Like, I don't know. It's like, I love Sinclair, but I don't think that this type of penciling is what he's used to. Not at all. He's used to coloring better people. I'm sorry.
I think the manga style kind of threw him off.
Right. I think it did. So we're dealing with a lot, and Spider-Man is on his way because he's just now dealing with Boomerang saying, hey guys, I'm out because I don't want to hurt anyone. He doesn't know that his roommate is Spider-Man, and he's butthurt because they had to give God to Mary Jane. So you ask me, why is there so much going on in this book? Because Nick Spencer doesn't pay anything off, and he's trying to do so in such tight room. Okay, now, this book very much is Nick Spencer's taking his favorite moments in Spider-Man history, from anything like from the JMS run, early Dan Slott run with Brand New Day, and then stuff from Spectacular Spider-Man, and he's trying to pay moments homage to them. But it's like, you're so close. You're this close. Like, you have Joe Robertson and Tombstone, who shared a jail cell in Spectacular Spider-Man back in the 80s. Okay? Broke his back. And in their moments, I'm like, you're this close. But you have one more line to make the moment, and you go the opposite direction. I'm just like, Jesus Christ. I've never hate read a book as much as I have this.
At least 35% of this book was decent.
Yeah, which is fine. Most of this book was fine, because Spider-Man comes in. They're coming in to save their daughter and son, who are dating. So that's the premise. And then Spider-Man comes in. Madam Mask is holding a gun to Beetle, who's like, you're my idol, but fuck you at the same time. Joe and Tombstone have to team up. Spider-Man comes in, and it's cool seeing those three team up. That's fun. You get some action sequences. Then you get the Syndicate from Spider-Man 25, from this run. And that is your rogue Teen Titans, like your villains. So every major Spider-Man villain as a kid, but of the opposite sex. Got it? Good. They come in, which is kind of cool. What's up, Legion? Or no, what's up, Flash? What are you? Michael, my man. What's going on, brother? Thank you for coming on the show, bro. So Tombstone called these guys in because, he's like, yeah, I got some connections up in this bitch. So that's what happened. And they're so shocked to see their parents teaming up. And Spider-Man's like, yeah, I'm only allowing this once. At the same time, he is streaming to James Jonah Jameson. Does anyone else have a headache now?
It's like ADHD put into a comic book where it's just like flashing lights are distracting him as he's writing this.
Right? He's like, oh yeah, I have to pay off this character and this character.
Hold on, I got an idea.
Hold on, I got an idea. Wait, this character's here before. That character's here before. And it's like, if you paid off your characters in this story originally, you wouldn't have to do this in the first place.
It's
Kevin
like
Smith's Daredevil without the weed.
Yeah.
It's like he had like a bunch of whiteboards around him with different plots laid out on him, and then just spun around and wrote what he remembered.
Like a wheel. Random story generator.
And how to make it.
It's like Spider-Man Mad Libs.
And then he shakes a magic 8-ball. How do I make these all tie in together? You
Outcome
don't.
Not likely.
Outcome not likely. So
Please try again.
Yeah. So
so glad I gave up on this book 30 issues ago.
See you, Legion.
See you, Legion. Take care.
Later, Legion.
But
you're gonna miss the best part.
You're gonna miss the best part, bro. All right. So yeah, that's what we're getting. That's what we're getting at. Beetle and Madam Mask are fighting. And then Spider-Man and the Crime Master are fighting. Who cares? Fighting. Haha, funny. So then this part really just drove me over the edge because Randy and Beetle kiss and they share a moment like in front of their fathers who completely hate this relationship.
That's not awkward at all.
Because and so Robbie's just like, yo, yeah, we're fine with you guys doing this. You guys completely okay with this. And then Tombstone's like, oh, I see. The reverse psychology. Good. I'm like, what the fuck, man? That was so close to being a good moment.
We're moving in together.
Yeah. And then they're like, oh, we're okay with it. And then I'm like, what the hell? So yeah, then we go to Osborn, and the mayor hired some like bozo to come in, and he gets put in the same room as what's his name, as Kindred. And then you have Boomerang on the run. He's about to get hunted by Bullseye. And then Spider-Man's like, Gog, I need you to track I need you to track down Boomerang. And then we see like this last page of like Spider-Man's like, yeah, I need help tracking who's gonna like help me find him. And it's like, I can't imagine these many characters will care because one of them has a big gala that is going to be next week.
A horribly drawn page, no less.
Yeah.
Wait,
and it was
okay.
like
who all did? I saw Wolverine. I saw
you got
like,
Wolverine, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, who's their nanny now, Iron Fist, Spider-Woman, and Hawkeye.
Okay, I thought I saw the Punisher in there for some reason. I'm like,
they might as well have
Punisher.
Bro, the Punisher would have been like the highlight. So, wow, where did everyone go? So,
can I ask you guys a question? Why are you still reading this book?
It's a hate read.
I have an abusive relationship with Spider-Man where every 10 years it's just like I feel like I get kicked in the balls by this book because of like shit they do. The Clone Saga was the first time I ever quit the book.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I'm waiting for it to get good. And I am getting close to the why am I doing this phase.
Right. Oh, yeah, I know why. Because Copy and Justin have a show in 30 minutes. That's where everyone's going. Yeah, so we're going to go over there soon. Yeah, so I don't know why this book is oh, my God. Oh my God. I don't know why like my YouTube saying there's one person in here, but I have it on my phone, so it's not me, and I'm seeing people chime into the chat, so I don't know. If you're here, say hi.
YouTube sucks.
Yeah. YouTube is like
just a perspective about how long it's been since I've picked up this book. The 2099 arc had just started.
Oh. Well, a lot happened since then. A lot of bad stuff.
Oh my gosh. And that 2099 arc wasn't even good.
No.
You brought Patrick Gleason over from DC to that? You said save Spider-Man, which he saved the artwork on Spider-Man, but he didn't save anything else. You can't save poor writing.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we got people in here. Yeah, my YouTube is being
sweet.
Stupid. Anyway, the main part of the show, which you can see the graphic behind us, is all about this sexy little lady, or cool little lady. Sorry, I misconfused my words again. Yeah, Bryce, go for it.
So this was actually a solid issue. Jorge Jimenez has always killed it on the art.
Oh, Jesus.
I love the Scarecrow redesign. I love that new look.
And I didn't like it at first because I'm like, imagine this guy out of the chair. How hard would it be to move him? And Jorge Jimenez is doing it perfectly, but there's so little Scarecrow because he's hard to move around. But I'm okay with that. He doesn't need to move. Just sit there.
They're teasing Scarecrow right now. I think in a few issues, maybe around 110 to 112.
Oh, right. Stupid YouTube.
It's gonna go full Scarecrow. We're gonna be all in on Scarecrow.
Right.
But right now, this is about Miracle Molly, and we get a little bit of Magistrate in there too.
Right. And
so we open up with Mayor Nakano addressing people, talking about, A-Day, which, if you guys don't remember from Infinite Frontier, issue 0. But what are you doing?
My book smells great. And it had like when I opened it, had like a very good whiff. Peace out, Rudy. Yo, DM me, bro. DM me, bro. Yeah, Comixkings. I'm sure that's an easier Instagram username than yours. But
we see Simon Saint in the crowd with his dude that we've seen him kind of going around with, like his bodyguard type.
Right.
And so he wants to go talk to this Officer Mahoney. And so we find out what that all deal is later.
Right.
But Scarecrow the entire time is watching from above. So Scarecrow is lurking in the background.
Right. And that's so cool.
And it's awesome. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There was more than 0 people in the chat when I was like, and I'm just like, yeah, YouTube completely bugged
YouTube's
out.
just being dumb. But yeah, so we get to the Unsanity Collective hideout. And we open up with somebody that looks like Jim Gordon. It's not Jim Gordon.
That's what I thought when I first saw it. I was like, wait, what happened?
Love the Scarecrow splash. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, when I saw Joker, I'm like, isn't he currently being a bounty hunter? Like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. He does. It looks like he has like little speeders on his fingers.
I mean, It's Jimenez. Y'all.
It is Jimenez.
Stop it.
But yeah, so basically we get introduced to this Miracle Molly character, and she's kind of like their tech guru slash, like, I don't know, like disposal. She's a great character though. She's a great character.
Awesome drone that she flies on.
Yeah, she's like their manager. She's like the person. She's like this. Is you don't do anything except like what she says. She's like the leader of the organization.
Are you talking about the Goblin Glider, Dan?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yo, it's a cool Goblin Glider.
It's a cool glider.
Stop it. It's cool. It's fun. It's harmless. And guess what? This will become an animated because I cannot see them pulling this off in live action. This will be an animated, and Tynion will get 100% of his royalties because that's the only reason why he's still doing this book is for royalties later on.
But
and
it's a good story. So
it's a good story, but I know everyone knows it's for royalties. And if you tell me otherwise, no, you're wrong. Sorry.
But yeah, so we find out that this isn't Jim Gordon. Miracle Molly called him on his BS. And we get the first hint at who this is by the way he ties the mask. She hands him a mask and he ties it almost to look like a Zorro mask, which was a great little nod there.
Yeah.
Just fantastic. So you get on this
she
Goblin
says it
Glider.
too. She even says, "Good job, very Zorro of you." But we all know who it is. It's Batman.
Yeah, which I didn't know that until
Broke bat.
But yeah, so they're flying across town, and we cut back to Simon Saint. He's teasing his whole magistrate thing. We find out that basically he's going to, there's the Goblin Glider right there.
It's cool.
We find out that it's basically going to be these cybernetic soldiers, like these cyborg soldiers almost.
So Deathlock program, but for DC.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
And so that's just a little aside. But then Miracle Molly and, spoilers, Batman fly to this other Unsanity Collective hideout.
Right, and their hideout. So if you guys remember, pre-Infinite Frontier, right, before Joker War, how Bruce Wayne was establishing like skyscrapers throughout Gotham, which would have had his like underground, more like little Batman kind of hotspots. They were going to be Wayne Foundations, right? Wayne Foundation skyscrapers to rebuild the city. Obviously, that got cut while the skyscrapers were being built. So think about if Trump's hotels got like were being built, but completely got like stopped because he's in jail, like he should. Right then and there.
I was gonna say more like the wall, which just standing there unfinished, almost like a door.
But nothing got started on that. That was just all ruse. Like there already is a wall. He just wanted to expand it. When Tynion started, yes, Batman, Sunskin, Church of Wind, they were all supposed to be temporary. Yeah, so Tynion was not supposed to be the main writer on this book. We were supposed to be in 5G afterward. He's supposed to write an arc, and they're supposed to be in 5G. And then they said, "Hey, do you have anything?" He's like, "Yeah, my fan fiction."
Which Tynion has exploded.
And it's a good fan fiction because he's like, "What do I have left to lose? My indie books are already going to be picked up by different movie industries. Like I think Something Is Killing the Children is already optioned, and I think Wendy's option in the Woods is already undergoing something. I think is already like in contract works.
Yeah, Wind is going to be an animated movie. I forget what company.
I don't know, but they're going to be. So it's like Tynion is living large right now. And for this book, I don't care because I'm making more of my money elsewhere. This is just like a side gig. Batman's like his side gig, but it's a good side gig because it's a good book.
It's a great book, yeah, for sure.
And this is definitely not the best Tynion book out there. So if you're only reading his Batman, you should be reading Something Is Killing the Children. You should be reading Wind. You should be reading Department of Truth. That's what got optioned. Yes. Department of Truth.
Yeah. Now, this probably is the best issue of Tynion's Batman from Infinite Frontier so far.
Yes. But anyway, we're talking about the different locations, the temporary outpost.
Yeah, and they've really made the most of it. Miracle Molly sort of has her own miracle room, as she calls it, where she basically inserts tech into people, almost like their own version of these cyborgs, which is why she reminds me of a character from Cyberpunk.
The little girl was like, "This is my upgrade I want," and she's like, "Okay, like I want to break glass with my voice."
Yeah,
Right. And I think this is so cool because unlike Punchline, right? Like I was saying earlier, Punchline was brought in at a time where we just didn't want Joker books. This is like we're over that, and we know Miracle Molly's something different, and it's like she's just trying to help people that can't get the funding themselves.
Punchline too, you almost had to be convinced to like her.
She was like a social media thing, though. Like her whole character, like everything she was doing was for social media. It felt like before she became Punchline.
Right.
So she was like Joker's screwball.
It's sort of like.
It's weird.
I get the vibe Miracle Molly might become Batman's tech person after all this.
Yeah, kind of like how Lucius Fox completely failed at it. Because, like, that was a thing. Like, didn't know. Or Batman is just too broke to keep him around, maybe.
Let's bring Miracle Molly in and just shove Ghostmaker out of there.
Right. But what was really cool. But what's really cool is someone funded her. Like, someone funded for her to get this tech in the first place. So she can, like, put out some levels of fear into the social media, which is why Batman is where he is.
Yeah.
We find out the person who funded her is
Simon Saint.
Is Simon Saint and Scarecrow. So she's like, so Simon and Scarecrow are working together, but Simon Saint is the puppet head who is operating kind of as like your Owsley. Like your Wesley. As your Wesley.
They don't know that Scarecrow's involved yet.
Right.
Or at least Miracle Molly doesn't. Batman, it's hard to tell what he knows in any given moment just because he's so secretive.
Right.
Also interesting, the Unsanity Collective brainwash everybody and make them forget what they were before. And Molly says, like, oh, I was fine with it. I'd let them do it again. I saw videos of how I was before they brainwashed me. And she's like, I'm good.
Right. Yeah. So I think like with her, so she is like the leader of the Unsanity Collective. Correct? No.
I wouldn't say the leader. Isn't Wise the leader?
The bald guy, yeah, at the very beginning.
Right. But honestly, I think when she realizes what they're doing is wrong, because all she's trying to do, she's the tech person who's helping them. Right. Yeah. And she's seeing like, oh, these are all the benefits, blah, blah, blah. But she's not seeing like the other side. I think when she does see that other side, it's going to be a 180 for her character.
Which, yeah.
Dan is like wrapping his head around this.
Dan, well, no, I could see her being like chaotic good, or neutral, where she could be good and bad.
I think she'll be more good. I think like she'll be turned good, but she's gonna go through some bad burst. Like Punchline, is not gonna have like a reckoning of her being good, right? Or her being relevant because she's going up against Bluebird. You want to drive a major character that you introduce? Why bring the worst member of the Bat family?
I wouldn't say the worst, but
yo, she is. Who's worse?
I think Duke's pretty bad.
I think Duke is much better because at least
they haven't done enough with him.
Well, he was in Outsiders.
They treat Cassandra Cain like a freaking like outcast.
Cool. Yeah, but okay. But they're more like well known. It's like you want someone to like go against like a lesser tier of a Bat family character. Okay, yeah, Duke Thomas and Cassandra Cain could at least give them like a run for their money. But Bluebird? That's like almost like a laughing stock of that character. Like that's who you're gonna put up against.
Cassandra Cain would like obliterate Punchline. It wouldn't even be fair.
Right? I'm like, wait, what? And like that's who you picked? She hasn't been used since Batman Eternal. Oh, that Shoot,
I mean, I would even say if you wanted to bring one of the Robins in, like, what's going on with Tim Drake right now?
They're trying to like figure out if they're gonna keep calling him the Drake.
Just put him in Punchline and change him back to Red Robin.
Right. So yeah, this issue ends with this like big shock of like Simon Saint doing what he's doing and getting Mahoney back in like his thing.
Yeah, which is a really great drawn splash page.
Right. But then we get a backup story.
Yes,
that I didn't read.
Yeah, with what's his name? Ghostmaker? With Ghostmaker. And I didn't read it because I don't like that art style. Who did that art? Because it doesn't look good.
Ricardo Lopez Ortiz, who did the pull with Steve Orlando. Where it looked very Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, that's not for me. Not a comic.
See, it's the art style I don't mind. I'm not a fan of the character.
Yeah,
he's kind of blah.
Right, he's like very not relevant, but he's in the handful.
Where's Clown Hunter is my favorite character that Tinian's created so far. Where's he?
He's in a midlife crisis.
He's in a midlife crisis.
With Harley Quinn as his mentor.
Yeah.
So wait, is he in the Harley Quinn book right now?
I don't know. I'm not reading it.
No, he's not in the Harley Quinn book. Like, he basically got put on the path of, like, trying to correct himself. So give it a year and he'll pop back up.
Yeah, whenever Tinian gets around to him, he'll get there. Because, again, this is I don't think Tinian has to listen to editorial because this is, like, his fan fiction. And I think editorial's done enough with the Batman title. With killing Alfred, they're kind of done doing this. It's like, okay, you have to have Mayor Nakano in here. You have to push his character. Other than that, do whatever you want.
Like, why are they so obsessed with Mayor Nakano? Is it because of Future State? Is it because of Magic?
Yeah.
It's 100% to get it to Future State.
And I don't think Mayor Nakano is a good character. I don't like him. Nope. And I think that he's just going to go down as a nobody because... The
whole magistrate thing's just blah.
Yeah, I don't care for it. But the last two books we are going to talk about, and these are going to be very quick because they weren't as strong as the recent X books, is Hellions and Marauders. We're going to go into Hellions first. This is by Zeb Wells, art by Stefan Segovia. Am I echoing? I just heard an echo.
The only thing we need to really talk about is Mr. Sinister's teeth.
Yeah, and the fact that like he's this major lisp. So we're dealing with everything with Mastermind and Arcade.
Mastermind.
Mastermind.
He's talking like Daffy Duck in it.
Right. Mastermind, and it's fun. And we're also dealing with Quanon waking up and kicking everyone's ass. That's what happens. Yes. And the Hellions are like, Sinister, you are a major dick. Why would you do this? And he's like, well, sorry about that. We need to go back to He's like,
I need a centrifuge.
He's like, I need a centrifuge. I think like every word with the lisp, Zeb Wells is just like, I'm gonna use. It's almost like the Big Bang Theory written for Barry Kripke to say, would you like to go suck some women, or like suck a women or something, you know, or like or don't go breaking my heart, like what he's like karaoke.
The Big Bang Theory. Oh my gosh.
Like I think that's really it. So yeah, this book is just more of Sinister screwing over his team.
More Sinister screwing over his team.
Yeah, and right. The highlight of this book for me was Quanon just waking up, it's like Mastermind, and just killing it. It's just like being a Quanon.
He gave me a Woot canal.
But that's really it. And so they go back to Krakoa because like we have a gala to go get ready for. And then Marauders, which was
made them think they did a great job. He's like, yep. Look at that, they're all happy.
Yeah.
Every issue is like, we've got a gala to prepare for.
Yeah.
Yep. They're pushing it. And Marauders are a story by Jerry Dugan, art by Stefano Caselli. This has been the ongoing team for Marauders, so no complaints on my end.
Tribute to Storm.
Tribute to Storm. That's what this is Storm's going away party because she's going to be they're pushing like the Quiet Council being more unified, and because Storm has been running with the Marauders, I think that's taking away from her duties as part of the High Council or the Quiet Council. Like they need to be together more because whatever's going to be next in Hickman's agenda, it needs that team effort because they let when Apocalypse was like going on solo, that's where like the whole like everything that Krakoa was supposed to be went to hell.
You saw the Marvel announcement today, the Trial of Magneto.
What Trial of Magneto? I did not.
Oh yeah, it's starting in July.
Who's writing
August?
It? Who's writing
it?
They
didn't put on it. Just showed the picture and said Trial of Magneto coming.
Magneto,
however it's pronounced. But yeah, and it's him in a black costume.
Oh, cool. So yeah, maybe Magneto, because Magneto's being a dick with Sword right now. So maybe that's going to be the next part.
Fabian.
Oh, Fabian.
It was so fun the way they wrote him. It's like no one likes him. And it's like, and it's like Fabian is butt naked, getting punished by the Quiet Council. Like, yeah, we don't like you. No one does.
If you want Magneto to be like this happy dude that's just chill, just put Peeper in Apocalypse's spot on the Quiet Council and Magneto will be like a saint.
Right. So we're getting ready for the gala. The Marauders are sailing back to Krakoa at this point because they were just kind of cleaning up shop in Madripoor, and they put what are the names? The Morlocks in Madripoor. Okay, so that's where we're at right now with that. So they're going away. They're back on the ship, and everyone is like saying their go away party to Storm, and yeah, this is how you pronounce his name.
Magneto.
Magneto. Now say it 3 times.
One of the cartoons kept calling him Magneto, and it just stuck with me.
Fair.
You got to work on that.
I got a lot of things I need to work on. That's low on my priority list.
Calling him Magneto is the top one. I'm sorry. So there's like this running thing. It's like, oh, what's up, Rooney? This is my dog, Rooney, making her first cameo appearance onto the show.
I think it's a full appearance at this point.
No, because Alpha Flight was a cameo for 18 pages they were in.
Fair enough.
So that's Rooney, everyone. She's gone now, and she will be back one day. So yeah, we're dealing with that, and there's like this running joke of how many knives does Storm have, because they're each taking turns giving a memory of Storm. And it's like kind of fun. Like, so they give a memory Storm, they go to bed, they drink. And it's like just like, yeah, going away to Storm, because she's like, yeah, I can't talk to you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna be too important.
It's true. That's real true. Little did they know Hugh Jackman was going to play him one day.
Little to know, but so that's really what it is. And I love like all these different stories with Storm, because like if you're a Storm fan, this is right up there for you. And it's like, how many knives does she have? It's fun. And Sebastian Shaw is in a wheelchair. Isn't that because what?
Because of Kitty and
that was like his punishment for killing her.
And
so
Lockheed took his eye.
Yeah, so we're going to the gala, which is going to be right over here on the island. This looks like the island that Emma Frost had in the giant-sized Magneto.
Oh, at the very end, yes.
This is the same island.
Yes.
Which I just put that together just now, looking at it again.
The big Sentinel head.
Yeah, with the big Sentinel head, because that's something that Magneto built.
Oh, wow.
In that issue. So that's a cool little callback for those of you who didn't make that connection, because I just did, and I think taking a second look at it really helped me out like that. But I'm ready for the gala. I don't know about you guys. I'm ready for the gala. I've already talked to Marcus Toe about the gala tomorrow, but
I'm ready for that Kate Pride cover with her in the dress.
Is the gala going to be one of those events that it's an actual event, like every chapter matters, like Ten of Swords, or is it going to be like you read the titles you're reading?
I think you just read what you're reading.
Okay. Just read what you're reading, and if it crosses over, you can just hop into that title and just know what's going on. But the gala is really just supposed to be like a big celebration of everything they've accomplished in Krakoa, a bunch of name drops or a bunch of announcements, right? And like the future of Krakoa, because this is like supposed to be like their major.
Which we are coming up on 2 years since this X-Men line dropped. So
yeah. So, and if you guys have not taken one of these from your LCS, I would highly recommend, because it gives you a little bit more of the background to the gala, which I can read it to you guys.
They didn't send my LCS any.
Okay, so I can read it to you. So you're probably not hip to what's going to be going on. The summer's most spectacular shindig is here. You're all invited. The Hellfire Gala is an X-Men X over. Cool. Unlike anything else, this time around the battles are of wits, and the slaying is on the green carpet. But make no mistake, the twists, turns, and surprises in store here will make a mark on Marvel's mutants like never before. The time you hold in your hand, true believe there was a typo there. The official guide to the gala, including first looks at the highest fashion Krakoa has to offer, plus get the definitive word on the crossover from her host, Emma Frost, who is the host, which everyone knows that. All this awaits and more. At the gala, Krakoa is throwing open its gates to all of the Earth. Okay, so kind of similar how like when they were on the embassies in Krakoa during Hawks and Pox.
Yeah.
This is like, okay, you saw our embassies, now you're actually invited to what we're all about. Okay? So kind of open like Wakanda being open world. So Krakoa's throwing its gates to planet Earth, mutant, human, or otherwise. The new team of X-Men will be unveiled. Treaties and trade deals will be brokered, and one absolutely monumental announcement that you cannot miss. The gala is a 12-chapter tale of the excitement and intrigue kicking off in Marauders 21. From there, the story will run through almost every X book on stands for the entire month of June. I can't wait for every true believer out there to see the status quo shaking reveals we have in store. This is by C.B. Sapluski, signing his name, but it should have been Jonathan Hickman.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really cool. I highly recommend it to you guys to look at it because some of the costumes are phenomenal. I really love the Colossus who looks straight up like the dude from Harry Potter. He looks like what's his name from the fourth movie? Victor Crumb.
Victor, yes.
Yeah, he looks straight up like Victor Crumb, just coming out badass, stealing my girl Emma Watson. How dare he steal my girl Emma Watson?
Wait, what fourth movie?
Goblet of Fire.
I'm about to get crucified by the internet. I've never seen a single Harry Potter movie.
Bryce, you're going in timeout.
I was always the Lord of the Rings guy.
You're wrong.
Always the Lord of the Rings guy.
That's Colossus.
That's clean. That is clean.
Right, and that about wraps up our show. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Weekly Wrap Up. This is Brandon.
And this is Bryce.
And I am Dan from Comic Shop News. And don't read Heroes Reborn. Don't do it. Save your money.
I passed.
If you were telling me, yo, it's good, and I looked at the page of my LCS, and I'm like, back to the beginning, strong, everyone, way too buff with no neck. It was bad.
I passed on it to catch up on Star Wars instead.
You chose wisely.
Good job, my young Padawan.
Hot doo-doo water.
Yeah. I had a feeling, and I want to love Jason Aaron because I think this is like Avengers and this are like the same book to me. So this is like the first Jason Aaron book that has not hit for me. Which is okay because not every writer is gonna write everything you love. And I think people who like if Ryan's ever watched this, he's gonna kill me. But people who absolutely love Grant Morrison, you're not going to love everything Grant Morrison writes for him to be your favorite writer. So you can stop riding someone's dick every once in a while.
Unless it's Proctor Valley Road. You will love Proctor Valley Road.
You will mildly love Proctor Valley Road. It's not the best, but it's okay.
I love it, personally. Dan does not love it.
No.
That's all good. We're not talking about that tonight.
Right, but anyway, if you guys did catch the show live, big shout out to you. Thank you for all your contributions and support of the channel. If you're catching the replay and you made it this far, thank you so much. You are a real trooper. And you already heard the announcements coming out because that was the start of the video. Thank you guys so much for everything. And make sure you guys do have a good night. I suck at ending shows. So thank you guys.
Go check out Copy and No Good Comics.
They are live right now.
Sure,
I think
sure.
Yeah, 2 minutes. Let's go.
All right. Thank you guys. Have a good one.
Bye.
Station.